Welcome to Kansas Ag Report with your host, Brian Holman.
Welcome to Kansas Ag Report. I'm Brian Holman, and here's our lineup for today's show. In Ag News, we'll take a look at local and national headlines affecting Kansas farmers. In our Ag Feature, we talk with Justin Gilpin from Kansas Wheat and get an update on this year's wheat crop. And inside Kansas Ag, Kansas Soybean talks Soy Food Month during April. The Kansas Farm Bureau updates us on legislative issues on water. And in news you need to know, we get our weekly update from the Kansas Livestock Association. We'll look back at last week's market activity with the guys from Paragon, and we'll let you know about important events coming up around the state of Kansas. Glad you could join us.
Closed captioning brought to you by Dick Edwards in Manhattan, selling America's #1 truck, the Ford F-150, for over 30 years. DickEdwardsAuto.com.
Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff. Progress powered by Kansas farmers. kansassoybeans.org.
Ag Risk Solutions. Experience, knowledge, integrity. Your crop insurance solution, Ag Risk Solutions. Dick Edwards Auto Plaza in Junction City, home of this year's Motor Trend Truck of the Year, Ram Truck. DickEdwardsAuto.com.
Here's our national headlines for this week in Ag News. After multiple years of record farm incomes, an ag economist says farmers are heading into 2015 with commodity prices that do not support the total cost of production. Purdue's Chris Hurt says returns look pretty bleak at this point. These returns look like they would be able to cover their input costs and maybe come close to paying their cash rent if they have cash rent, he says. What that leaves uncompensated then is any machinery depreciation or recovery to replace machinery and any family living expenses. California Governor Jerry Brown has issued an executive order mandating substantial water reduction across the state. The governor has directed the State Water Resource Control Board to implement mandatory 25% reduction in water usage in cities and towns. Agricultural users, which have already idled thousands of acres, will be required to report more water use information to state regulators. This will increase the state's ability to enforce illegal diversions and waste. One of the world's largest hotel chains is eliminating the use of cages for egg-laying chickens and gestation stalls used in swine production from its global food supply chain. Hilton Worldwide made the announcement in conjunction with the Humane Society of the United States earlier this week. All hotels will be required to switch all eggs used to cage-free by December 31st of 2017, and all pork products must be purchased from suppliers that do not use gestation stalls by December 31st of 2018. More than 2,000 restaurants are under the Hilton Worldwide umbrella. And in local news, the Kansas Department of Agriculture has received approval for a Section 18 exemption for transformed WG. This exemption was sought by Kansas sorghum farmers in cooperation with KDA to combat the invasive sugarcane aphid, which was discovered in Sumner and Sedgwick counties during the 2014 growing season. For more information about the use of transformed WG insecticide and restrictions included for the use of this product, please contact the KDA Pesticide and Fertilization Program at agriculture.ks.gov or call 785-564-6688. Kansas corn stocks in all positions on March 1st totaled 230 million bushels, up 3% from 2014, according to the USDA's National Agricultural Statistics Service. Of the total, 59 million bushels were stored on farms, down 13% from a year ago. Wheat stored in all positions totaled 173 million bushels, down 5% from a year ago. On-farm stocks of 7.2 million bushels is up 33% from 2014. Soybeans stored in all positions totaled 65.2 million bushels, up 59% from last year. On-farm stocks of 14 million bushels is up 52% from a year ago. Kansas is one of 9 new states the EPA announced its approval Enlist Duo herbicide for use in corn and soybean production. A key component of the Enlist weed control system, Enlist Duo with Chlorex-D technology, is the only herbicide to combine the proven performance of glyphosate with 2,4-D for exceptional weed control in corn and soybeans. More than 84 million acres of farmland are infested with glyphosate-resistant weeds, and the number continues to climb. Up next in our Ag Feature, we talk with Justin Gilpin from Kansas Wheat and get an update on this year's wheat crop. You're watching Kansas Ag Report. Please stay tuned.
This segment brought to you by Grass and Grain, online or in the mail, keeping Kansas farmers informed for over 60 years. GrassandGrain.com. A.B. Flint Motor Company, selling quality used cars and trucks in southeast Topeka at 32nd and South Kansas Avenue. Integrity Gun and Pawn, 2 Topeka locations specializing in firearms and training. igpawn.com to learn more. Kansas Wheat Commission, leaders in the adoption of profitable innovations for wheat. Online at kswheat.com.
I'm Dr. Frank Lyons, a physician here at Kansas Regenerative Medicine Center. As one of the only standalone stem cell centers in the U.S., we use your stem cells as therapy for arthritis and some autoimmune diseases.
I'm Dr. Andrew Poe, here at Kansas Regenerative Medicine Center. Utilizing the latest technology under strict protocols, we're able to harvest your stem cells from your own fat to treat a variety of medical conditions. The best part about it is, it's a same-day surgical procedure and requires no general anesthesia.
The 20th annual Kicker Country Stampede, starring Blake Shelton. Yeah, the boys round Florida Georgia Line. Travis Tritt. Also from the Cynics main stage, Thomas Rhett. Miller Lite, the official beer of Country Stampede. Our prices increase February 28th. Get yours now. Get them now before the price goes up. Like us on Facebook or buy online at countrystampede.com.
You need a partner that you can count on to be there for your business. Providing a depth of understanding to risk management issues so you don't have to. A knowledgeable support team located in your area, delivering products and services to make you more successful.
Here at Blue River Traders, we have the greatest selection of rustic and western furniture in Kansas.
At Blue River Traders, you can select from an inventory of rustic lodge or western furnishings. With a designer on hand, Blue River Traders will help create the look you desire.
Biodiesel made from sustainable resources is diversifying our fuel supply. This year, biodiesel will displace over 1 billion gallons of fossil fuel nationwide. It's making our economy stronger and our communities healthier. It's working here and across America. Get biodiesel going in your community. Visit americasadvancedbiofuel.com.
Thanks for staying with us this morning. We're in Manhattan, Kansas, at the Kansas Wheat Innovation Center. We're joined by Justin Gilpin. Justin, thanks for joining us this morning.
Always great to be with you, Brian.
Hey, I think we had great optimism coming into the fall. We planted into some moisture, and winter kind of fizzled on us. Didn't get much more moisture.
Right. Wheat's had a challenging year already. You're exactly right. When we went and planted this crop last fall, we had some of the best moisture conditions that we've had, especially out west, in the last 5 years. And so the crop got planted and got put into decent moisture, got up, we got a stand, and then getting that stand is probably what we hadn't had in those drought years the last 5 or 6 years out west. So there was that optimism, seeing the crop getting established, getting up in late October into November. Then we had some real challenging times. If you remember, the winter really started with a big temperature swing in November, where we went from almost an 80-degree temperature swing out in western Kansas, where we had close to 80-degree days, and about 20 hours later we were down to 0 degrees. And so when we're seeing some of the winter kill that's being referenced by farmers out west, probably more than a lot of people anticipated, it's not your traditional winter kill. It's really due because that crop didn't get hardened in some of those fields going into when it suffered those big temperature swings. So you're hearing a lot of stories about winter kill out there, and there are a lot of guys that are still kind of waiting to see exactly what's happening, talking to extension agents. But that's prevalent not only in western Kansas, but the panhandle of Nebraska and out in eastern Colorado. But the big story is moisture. When you talk about that crop kind of fizzled out, it's just because we haven't had the moisture. And now we're using, we got 80-degree temperatures here at the end of March. We're using about an inch of moisture a day right now, or a week, for this crop. That crop, so everybody can see it. It's green and growing. It's ready to take off. It needs moisture now, and it's not a quarter-inch rain that this crop needs because of this lack of moisture, lack of subsoil moisture. We need a good soaking rain to come through to really kind of get this crop to that next level, and that's really what's going to determine what happens here in the next couple of weeks, whether or not we get that rain.
Well, they say wheat dies 9 times throughout the growing season, so we don't like to see that happen, but we really need that moisture. Did we get some that kind of started to head out early because we did get such warm temperatures?
Well, where we're at right now, as far as where the crop progress is, our ratings have declined. As far as where we're at in the maturity levels, we have some wheat that's jointed. We're ahead of last year, but still below our 5-year average. We'll see what that plays out the next couple of weeks with the temperature swings or the high temperature that we're having. As far as maturity level, that's not as concerning as just the moisture. We just really need the moisture to get this crop through. The little bit of moisture has kind of extended it along now, but we need that big rain to come through, soaking rain, to really let us know if we're going to have a good crop or not.
Perfect. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to finish up with Justin over at the Kansas Wheat Innovation Center in Manhattan. You're watching Kansas Ag Report. We'll see you in just a minute.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Regenerative Medicine Center. Your stem cells, your health, your life. Farmers Insurance, your best protection against the unexpected. Call Agent Dan Key at 785-408-5459. Grass and Grain, online or in the mail, keeping Kansas farmers informed for over 60 years. grassandgrain.com. Blue River Traders, the finest selection of Western-style furniture for your home. BlueRiverTraders.com.
Thanks for staying with us. We're finishing up with Justin over at the Kansas Wheat Innovation Center in Manhattan. Justin, thanks for staying with us this morning. Big things coming up. We're into April. Coming into May, we've got field days and, of course, the wheat tour.
Right. This is an exciting time. The springtime's an exciting time in Kansas. Any ag state, especially Kansas, things are really farmers getting back out in the field. Everybody feels better when they're out doing something, right? And so the crop's starting to take off. There's an opportunity. A lot of different area counties working with your area extension agents where we got county test plots. And it's a great time for communities or farmers in the area to get together, go out and talk about varieties and disease pressure and just kind of learn some agronomic practices. It's one of the great things that Kansas State and the services K-State Extension has provided for farmers. And it's an excellent opportunity to get out and network and talk about how the crop looks and learn things about varieties and agronomic traits of the different varieties and different things that farmers can be doing to be more efficient and try to increase their revenue per acre, which is ultimately what everybody's trying to do. When you mentioned the wheat tour is going to be coming up the first part of May. That's the Wheat Quality Council puts together the Hard Red Winter Wheat Tour every year. That gets millers, bakers, grain buyers, farmers, government officials. It's a lot of a chance to get out and learn more about Kansas agriculture, Kansas wheat industry. They go out and they travel 3 days throughout the state and kind of report back in. And it's really that first look at the crop that everybody gets and the whole world watches it. It's really an opportunity for Kansas to tell our wheat story and the importance of agriculture. And so many people on that tour have really never even been in a wheat field. And so being able to explain where their wheat comes from and tell that story is just it's an excellent opportunity. And so that'll be happening the first part of May.
Relationship between ADM and Kansas Wheat, it's growing. A big announcement coming up.
Well, ADM, is the one of the largest grain handlers in North America. Of course, they buy about as much Kansas wheat as anybody does, and they, as far as their milling capacity, in North America they mill about 1 million bushels a day. And so, as far as finding a partner with the Kansas wheat industry, ADM's a perfect partner for that. It's so critical that we find partnerships and collaborations to help fund research and advance technologies, and we don't get caught up in the peaks and valleys of state and federal funding. And that's one of the ways we're going to be able to do it is by partnering with industry.
General Mills, good example of that.
Perfect example of that, and that's how we're trying to broaden out. We're trying to it's not just trying to find dollars, but trying to find partners and people that, when they invest into research, that the outcomes of that research is going to be out in the marketplace, and those people that invest in the marketplace are going to be the ones creating that demand. And so we're excited about those partnerships.
Perfect. Thank you, Justin.
Thank you, Brian.
During April National Soy Foods Month, Kansas soybean farmers encourage everyone to discover the goodness of soy. The nutrition and health attributes of soy foods are included in the 2015 Soy Foods Guide. The 32-page, full-color booklet is free by calling 877-KS-SOYBEAN. The annual publication provides recipes, nutrition benefits, research updates, and soy foods descriptions. Soy foods offer a variety of choices for today's health-conscious consumer. They are versatile and can be included in the diet in a variety of ways. Edamame, soy milk, soy nuts, soy flour, and tofu are easy to prepare and incorporate into your favorite dishes. Soybean oil is the most commonly consumed vegetable oil in the United States. Read the label and you will find the only ingredient listed is soybean. National Soy Foods Month also is a great time to remember that animal agriculture is the largest processor of soybeans. In fact, poultry and livestock consume the vast majority of the soybean meal produced in this country. That is why the Soybean Checkoff encourages consumer choices toward a balanced diet, funds research to improve both soy foods and soybean meal, and supports programs in animal agriculture. Find additional resources and more than 300 recipes at kansassoybeans.org/soy foods on the web.
The 2015 Kansas Legislature has adjourned until April 29th. Upon return, there will be considerable work yet to be accomplished. Today, I'd like to provide an update on some select bills dealing with water. Senate Bill 52 originated as a water augmentation bill. Water augmentation is the replacement of water into a stream that has been diminished by upstream well usage. Augmentation would give the chief engineer an additional option to strict priority enforcement that causes less overall economic damage while addressing impairment caused by the operation of junior water rights. The conference committee report was not completed in time for a vote prior to first adjournment. Therefore, both chambers will take up the bill when they return for veto session. Next, I'd like to address water conservation areas, which is a new concept that allows water right holders on a statewide basis to consider voluntary creation of a management plan to address issues such as overdevelopment or water quality concerns. This plan would go to the chief engineer and must in part have clear geographic boundaries, the written consent of participating water right holders, a defined duration, and be consistent with state law. If enacted, the chief engineer would issue a consent agreement and order initiating the water conservation area. Senate Bill 156 is the carrier of this concept and is on the way to the governor. Several other water bills are still in play and await action by the legislature. Kansas Farm Bureau will remain diligent in pursuing legislation that best fits our member-driven policy as the quest for a 50-year water vision continues.
Brought to you by Oldie Seed Farms, carrying soil-specific seed. Find them on the web at oldieseed.com. That's OHLDE seed.com. A.B. Flint Motor Company, selling quality used cars and trucks in southeast Topeka at 32nd and South Kansas Avenue. Integrity Gun and Pawn, 2 Topeka locations specializing in firearms and training. igpawn.com to learn more. Impact Satellite, your local authorized DirecTV dealer. Impact Satellite at 785-554-5974.
Looking for that new vehicle with that low payment? Well, look what Dick Edwards in Manhattan and Junction City is offering on these vehicles. Lease payments as low as $169 a month, or check these out at $199 a month. But wait. See what you can get for as low as $299 a month. With 9 manufacturers to choose from, we've got what you want. Dick Edwards in Manhattan, Junction City. Check us out at dickedwardsauto.com. Choose your payment, choose your vehicle, choose Dick Edwards as your dealer.
Imagine having someone help you pick the best corn hybrids for every field on your farm. Your Oldie representative can combine your data with his data to offer a field-by-field prescription. Contact Oldie Seed today at 877-692-4555.
Tammy the Pro Home Plus is all about providing warmth and kindness to aging individuals who find it difficult to live on their own. Tammy's team is made up of experienced caregivers and nurses committed to the highest level of individualized care, focusing on health and well-being, and assisting with nutrition, grooming, medications, therapies, and daily living needs, all in a warm, caring environment. Call Tammy the Pro Home Plus today at 785-383-7094 to learn how we can help.
The producer-funded Kansas Wheat Innovation Center was built to get improved varieties into the hands of farmers faster. Kansas Wheat, farmers advancing their future through wheat genetics research.
I will take action against herbicide-resistant weeds. I will know my weeds, and I will stop them before they go to seed. I will do whatever it takes to give my crops the upper hand, and I will use multiple herbicide sites of action because every action counts. I will take action, this time for all time.
Dick Edwards is taking North Central Kansas by storm. We've been bending over backwards to exceed your car buying experience for over 30 years. Choose from one of our 9 different new car brands or from our second to none used selection. Currently, with over 700 vehicles to choose from, we definitely have the one for you. Whether you're coming from the north, south, east, or west, our sales and service departments will work tirelessly to do what's right for you. Dick Edwards in Manhattan and Junction City, bending over backwards for you.
You need a partner that you can count on to be there for your business. Providing a depth of understanding to risk management issues so you don't have to. A knowledgeable support team located in your area, delivering products and services to make you more successful.
State lawmakers adjourned the regular legislative session without passage of a 2016 or 2017 budget. When the veto session convenes April 29th, the legislators will attempt to gather sufficient votes to pass a budget and raise additional revenues for the next 2 years. Bills to impose sales taxes on residential and agricultural utilities and the sale of farm machinery and equipment are among those under serious consideration. The Kansas Livestock Association opposes both of these measures. Other bills not dealing with taxes are closer to resolution. The Senate concurred with the House on Senate Bill 156, which would allow individual water right owners to enter into a water conservation area agreement for voluntary reductions in water use. The bill awaits the signature of Governor Sam Brownback. This bill is supported by KLA. Senate Bill 189 would extend the life of the Kansas State University Veterinary Medicine Scholarship for students who pledge to practice in rural areas of Kansas. It awaits final action by the House and Senate when the legislature returns. This bill also is supported by KLA. Last year, a bill passed that exempts vehicles with gross weight ratings between 10,000 pounds and 26,000 pounds and operated in intrastate commerce from most state commercial vehicle regulations. This law is scheduled to expire July 1st of this year. Senate Bill 21, a bill supported by KLA that makes the exemption permanent, recently was signed by Governor Brownback.
Hi, this is Brian Holder with Paragon Ag. USDA reported this week's winter wheat crop conditions at 44% good to excellent, which compares to 35% last year and the 5-year average of 47%. In the largest producing state, Kansas, the conditions dropped 6% this week to 33% compared to 29% last year. Over the past 60 days, much of the winter wheat has received 2 inches less than the normal precipitation, and much of the forecasted rain has been missing key areas. So we're not starting off the spring with perfect conditions, but rains over the next month would improve them greatly. On the demand side, globally our wheat prices are not competing. The U.S. dollar strength continues to put pressure on exports. So outside of the current U.S. crop conditions, there are a few bullish items to discuss with the wheat. For corn, the latest drought monitor is getting some media attention, showing widening dry conditions. However, the trade knows historical analysis shows dryness this time of the year does not correlate to final yields, and we'll be watching the temperature and precipitation after emergence for price direction. Soybean prices stopped their slide after the March 31st USDA report stated fewer acres will be planted this year than the trade was expecting. However, it is still a record number of acres, and South America's crop continues to look record large. For all the grains, there is still a long growing season ahead, and weather is at the top of the list for trade direction. Seasonally, this is not the time to get bulled up and make marketing mistakes. If you don't have a written marketing plan and would like help, give us a call at 888-452-8751.
Closed captioning brought to you by Dick Edwards in Manhattan, selling America's #1 truck, the Ford F-150, for over 30 years. DickEdwardsAuto.com.
Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff. Progress powered by Kansas farmers. kansassoybeans.org.
Ag Risk Solutions. Experience, knowledge, integrity. Your crop insurance solution, Ag Risk Solutions. Dick Edwards Auto Plaza in Junction City, home of this year's Motor Trend Truck of the Year, Ram Truck. DickEdwardsAuto.com.
Well, that's our show for today. I hope you'll join us each week for more news and information about agriculture in the state of Kansas. I'm Brian Holman, and thanks for watching.
Here at Blue River Traders, we have the greatest selection of rustic and western furniture in Kansas.
At Blue River Traders, you can select from an inventory of rustic lodge or western furnishings. With a designer on hand, Blue River Traders will help create the look you desire.
Imagine having someone help you pick the best corn hybrids for every field on your farm. Your Oldie representative can combine your data with his data to offer a field-by-field prescription. Contact Oldie Seed today at 877-692-4555.
Tammy the Pro Home Plus is all about providing warmth and kindness to aging individuals who find it difficult to live on their own. Tammy's team is made up of experienced caregivers and nurses committed to the highest level of individualized care, focusing on health and well-being, and assisting with nutrition, grooming, medications, therapies, and daily living needs, all in a warm, caring environment. Call Tammy the Pro Home Plus today at 785-383-7094 to learn how we can help.